uppercuts from outside with that right hand, which is a no-no.
Under a minute to go in round 7.
This is a tough physical fight, though. Good uppercut by Gonzalez.
A weapon he began to use in this round with some effect. Under the 30-second mark we go. Padilla, a good right hand. Padilla has not been bothered by the power of Gonzalez.
You can see Padilla blocking punches and countering. He's fighting like a very experienced fighter. Now he's bleeding from the mouth, Padilla is. And his mouth is wide open.
Good left hand, good left back from Gonzalez. Tough round.
Zack, 8th round. This is the 8th round.
Don't stay too long with him, Zack. Don't stay there with him. You're hitting pretty good now. But don't stay with him all the time because he's desperate. I don't want to get like a shot on him.
Yeah,
Gil, how you got it now? We're into the 8th.
Tim, right now I'm looking at an upset. I have Padilla with a 2-point lead, 68-66. He seems to, ever since that second round, Padilla seems to have found the key, and he's been coming on, landing the cleaner punches, putting his punches together, and he seems to be confusing Gonzalez. And here we see some of the action. Gonzalez misses that right hand uppercut, as I pointed out. It's a no-no. There's another jab, another right hand.
We're into round 8. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy here at the Thomas & Mack Arena, live from Las Vegas on TVKO. Still to come, Oscar De La Hoya and Troy Dorsey, the former IBF featherweight champion, and then Tommy Morrison and George Foreman.
And Padilla is working that left jab overtime now, Tim. There it is again. And you know, Gonzalez, you had mentioned that he reminded you of Julio Cesar Chavez. One thing, he has the same kind of skin that Chavez, because with all of the punches he got hit with in this fight, you'd think you'd be seeing some bruising, a bloody nose or something, but he looks clean as a whistle.
He got the right hand down the pipe, and he's trying to follow that up now, sensing maybe he hurt Padilla for the first time. But Padilla stays there and punches back. Gonzalez backed him up that time.
Well, Tim, we had thought Gonzalez would be the guy to get tired in this fight because he has all those string of knockouts, but I noticed at the end of the last round that Padilla's mouth was wide open.
No, hold him.
This is about as tough a physical battle as you're going to see between two kids. And right now, Padilla is being the more accurate and the busier at the moment.
Very steady pace right from the opening bell. Few clinches for Richard Steele to break up.
There's again Gonzalez throwing that right uppercut, allowing himself to be wide open for that left hook.
Padilla taking advantage of it. It's not a huge puncher, but he has been putting some damage on Carlos Gonzalez, although as you point out, it's not evident by being showing any marks of any kind.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Gonzalez is a determined young man, though, Tim. He's going to be throwing bombs even if he's
Don't hold him. Break.
20-year-old Carlos Bolillo Gonzalez, unbeaten in 36 fights. Padilla trying to break that string.
There's that left hook of Padilla again.
Watch his shoulder, don't push.
We had mentioned the fact that Gonzalez was so strong and he was able to move Padilla back, but Richard Steele warned him for pushing and using his shoulder, as he should. Good left hook again by Padilla.
If Padilla had some more power, he's landed that cleanly several times.
Big right hand by Padilla.
Gonzalez could have been on the deck by now, but Padilla not a huge puncher, as you can see. Under 30 seconds to go in round 8. Right hand lead lands again, and another time. Final seconds of the 8th.
Don't hold.
Good combination. Out comes the mouthpiece again. Tremendous action in the 8th round of this junior welterweight title fight.
Ends well. This is round number 9, Zack. Round 9. Okay, you got 4 more rounds to beat him up like that.
Now you know better. Now you're hooking. See, you're getting with a hook now.
Yeah.
Get that hook in there.
You're hitting it with that hook beautiful, man.
Just make sure you keep them hands up after.
He's getting tired. He's getting old. Or not now.
And he's getting tired.
Keep your hands up, though. Don't drop him down, because he's desperate now.
I like that. Was good cogent instruction that Zack received there from Eddie Johnson in his corner. You've got 4 more rounds to beat him up.
There's a solid right hand by Gonzalez, but it didn't move Padilla. And there you can see Gonzalez reaching down with a right hand. Counter for that is a left hook.
We're into round number 9. I have not given a round to Gonzalez since the 2nd.
I'm the same way, Tim. Except I called the 3rd round even.
Yeah, and I don't quarrel with that. That was a tough one. Could have gone either way. So Zack Padilla, at least on our unofficial cards, en route to an upset, and Gonzalez's vaunted punching power would be required if we were the official judges to keep him from suffering his first defeat.
And Padilla, right now you'd think that he would try to take a deep breath and rest a little bit, but he's a warrior. What a warrior.
Gonzalez's punching percentage has gone down to 27% in round number 8. So his accuracy starting to go, and that's what he idolizes in his fellow Mexican Chavez. Slugfest. Little blood from the nose of Gonzalez now. Good right hand from Gonzalez. Best in some time.
Padilla right now, Tim, he's only fighting one way, and I don't think it's necessary. He's the better boxer, has a better left hand. He doesn't have to take. There's a left hook by Padilla again, but he doesn't have to take chances like this now. He has this kid confused. Boy, you talk about determination. Both young fighters. Although Padilla was a 30-year-old young fighter, but he took those 5 years off. So we'll subtract those. And again, Gonzalez shows no signs of being hit by a punch. He's not cut, he's not bleeding, he's not swelling.
Only a tad of blood from the right nostril earlier in this round. Oh, tremendous combination by Padilla, snapping back the head of Gonzalez.
And what about Gonzalez standing right there?
Staying right there.
And firing back.
Time.
The mouthpiece out again from the mouth of Gonzalez, and Steele finding an opportunity.
Time.
To get it back in. Padilla is absolutely willing to stand there and trade, and as you point out, Gil, he doesn't need to do this the way we see it.
He's getting nailed. Padilla's getting nailed, but again, some of the snap has gone out of Gonzalez's punches. The only thing I think now with Padilla, he has to just worry about wearing himself out. What a warrior.
Don't hold. Don't push, don't push. Keep your mouth closed.
Another right hand by Padilla, and again, Gonzalez just staying right there.
What a tough kid. 20 years old.
That's 9, scheduled for 12.
Against well. Okay, this is 10, Zack.
That's coming up.
10. This is 10. 3 more rounds of this fight.
Beat him up like you're doing.
Beat him up like you're doing.
Throw the right more. You hit him out with a right hand punch. Okay. Yeah,
Don't get too bold right now either.
That's it. That's it. You're getting too bold there.
That gives him a chance.
Well, that corner agreeing with our observations is getting a little too bold. Here's some action from 9.
Look at those punches taken by Gonzalez, and he's looking to fire back. And there went the mouthpiece.
Padilla in his 18 pro fights has been 10 rounds 3 times, winning the last time out against Roger Mayweather. Gonzalez has been 10 rounds twice.
I'm very surprised that Gonzalez is showing the stamina that he has, because he just doesn't have that kind of experience in long fights, and he's really thrown a lot of punches, expended a lot of energy, and he's still there.
Round number 10. It's a 12-round bout.
Now that's the way I think Padilla should fight the rest of this fight. Use that left jab, move a little side to side. You know, when a guy gets tired, Tim, it's much easier to hit him with a left jab than in the beginning of a fight. And there we see it again. That's all he has to do, to try to kill the clock. He's too much of a warrior, though, Tim. He throws the jab, and he has to throw that right hand behind it. There it is again.
Well, and he's found the openings all night, so I guess it's hard for him to not go for it. But his own corner told him to not be as bold. That one blocked, that left hand blocked by Gonzalez. Very entertaining, well-fought fight into the 10th. WBO Junior Welterweight Championship at stake.
And there went.
Oh, big combination by Padilla.
I was just going to say, there he goes, taking chances again. Threw a right-hand lead, took himself off balance. He's a warrior, though, Tim. Now, Gonzalez, for the first time, is showing a little mouse under his left eye. And his left eye is starting to swell.
Zack Padilla, quite a story. 5 years out of boxing, now age 30, came back 2 years ago. Was not expected to beat Roger Mayweather. Was not the man scheduled to be in this bout. 10-round victory over the former champion. Very experienced and dangerous pro Mayweather got him this opportunity, and on our cards, he's well ahead. Gonzalez has Padilla pinned in the corner for the first time in the fight.
Solid punches by Gonzalez. He took a combination and landed solid punches.
Let's see if Padilla can move out of here or whether he wants to stay. No reason for him to be in there. Under 30 seconds to go. Gonzalez lets him out. And a cuffing left from Padilla as he spins his way to the center of the ring. Right hand lead lands again. One brief flurry by Gonzalez, but the rest of the round in favor of Padilla, as I see it anyway.
Well, that's the way I saw it too, Tim.
Ahora sí faltan 2 rounds, ¿eh? Faltan 2 rounds más, Bolillo.
No, está bien. No, no.
Working on that left eye of Gonzalez for the first time in the bout, as Gil Clancy pointed out, a little bit of a mouse. Gil, let's take a look at your scorecard.
Well, Tim, right now I have the fight 98-93 Padilla. I think he swept the last 8 rounds of the fight, or at least the last 7 in the 3rd round I called even, but he's just completely outboxing Gonzalez. Gonzalez is slugging away, but he's blocking, countering, slipping, and landing the cleaner punches. There's that left hook, right hand right on the button. And you can see it from a different angle. Left hook, right hand.
Gonzalez has now thrown more than 1,000 punches so far. Indeed, 1,128 to 874 by Padilla. But the accuracy figures in Padilla's favor, 51% to 30%. Round 11.
Again, Gonzalez is throwing that wide right hand. He drops it to his waist before he throws the punch. And Padilla counters it beautifully. One thing, Gonzalez does not want to lose this fight. But Padilla has something to say about that. The cleaner punches again by Padilla.
Gonzalez 36-0, 33 knockouts into the 11th round for the first time. Both fighters
Punching it out.
Right hand by Padilla.
Gonzalez is still throwing those heavy punches, Tim. Heavy.
Landing a little more effectively to the body, but Padilla again sneaks in that right hand to the head. Padilla has absolutely no fear or respect for Gonzalez at this point, and hasn't for some number of rounds.
Well, that could be a mistake too, Tim.
Don't hold it.
Gonzalez is landing some good solid body punches in this round. And there's a left hook on the chin.
Don't hold it.
Again, Padilla is slugging when I don't think he has to slug. And Gonzalez again has been landing some good solid punches, especially to the body. But I think this is the last hurrah for Gonzalez. I really think so. You'll be able to ask Gonzalez after the fight. He won't remember any of this. He's fighting on instinct now.
Punching it out.
And Padilla is also
Punching it out,
exhausted,
punching it out.
dead tired, both kids.
Punching it out.
Coming to the end of the 11th round, Padilla backs himself into the corner, but just continues to fire away. Gonzalez can't take advantage of that position. Gonzalez starting to look arm weary. Finally, two well-conditioned athletes.
Campeón, este es el último round. Tú tienes que ganarlo grande, ¿me entiendes? La pura presión. Hay que ganar para ganar la pelea.
You're not bound to it at all?
No.
Crowd here at Thomas and Mack enjoying the action, and no doubt all of the friends of Zack Padilla, who he told us would be assembled in his neighborhood. Some of them in saloons where he used to admit that he spent a little too much time drinking too much beer and eating too much pizza and get too fat. And he says those are his pals, and they'd be assembled watching him tonight.
This is the last and final round.
He's got one round to go. It'll be a tremendous upset. Unbeaten Carlos Gonzalez. Zack Padilla from Azusa, California. Father of 3 daughters. Back in professional boxing and on the verge of winning his first title.
And Tim, the crowd really loves this fight. Both fighters got an ovation when they came out to answer the bell.
5 years out of the ring.
And Tim, if I was in Gonzalez's corner, this is exactly what I'd have him doing. Move around, throw the jab. You don't have to get into any exchanges. Just outsmart him and outbox him now.
Final round of this WBO Junior Welterweight Championship bout.
And again, Tim, if Gonzalez does lose this fight, I still think he's a great prospect. He's showing in this fight that he has tremendous stamina. We know he has punching power. Just has to get his techniques straightened out a little bit.
Gil, I guess when you have 33 knockouts and most of them come inside 3 rounds, you don't get to work on your defense too much. And it's clear that Padilla has exploited that weakness.
Well, that's what gyms are for, Tim. You know, the guy could be a great fighter and everything else, but he never fights a perfect round. And it's up to his trainers to correct these mistakes, no matter how successful he's been.
He needs a knockout, and I think he knows it.
Well, Tim, that's according to our unofficial scorecard. We've seen surprises before.
We certainly have. Padilla circling and moving in this final round, and nicely out of the corner.
Gonzalez is very, very tired, but he's still determined.
Under a minute remaining now in the fight. Padilla throws in that right-hand lead again just for extra good measure. Fighting a very mature final round here.
You see how wide Gonzalez is throwing his punches now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he's got the clout left on him to throw that damaging blow. Landed a left to Padilla's job, but not much on it. Padilla just keeps firing away even from the corner. That's it.
Let's hear it.
A very entertaining fight, well received by the big crowd here at the Thomas and Mack Arena. Zack Padilla from Azusa, California at age 30 would appear to have picked himself up his first title, the WBO version of the junior welterweight crown at 140 pounds. Unbeaten Carlos Bolillo Gonzalez from Mexico City came in with a record of 36-0 and 33 KOs. But he ran into a very determined and savvy boxer puncher in Zack Padilla, who turned out to be the more accurate puncher of the two, although their previous records would have shown the reverse. I'll have the decision in a moment. Right now, let's go up to our host, James Round.
All right, Timmy, thank you very much. You know, we talked at the top of the show about a couple of young fighters who were destined for stardom, and we certainly were talking about Carlos Bolillo Gonzalez. Well, some of the luster was taken off of that star, but by a very capable guy by the name of Zack Attack Padilla. You know, Padilla came in, and Timmy chronicled a lot of the human interest stories associated with Padilla. The fact that he had gotten up to nearly 200 pounds during his 5-year layoff, lost 60 pounds. Well, we know that a lot of his beer drinking buddies were watching him tonight. We'll find out how high they lift the toast, and we'll find that out in 2 seconds as we head back down to our ring announcer for the official particulars and Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of the Las Vegas Hilton, we go to the scorecards. Paul Smith scores the bout 117 to 111. Art Lurie scores it 115 to 114. And Dave Paris scores it 117 to 112 for the winner by unanimous decision and new champion, Zachary Zack Attack Padilla.
Taking him to Tim Ryan.
A round of applause, please.
All right, and indeed, well worth it indeed. A very impressive performance by Zack Padilla, who improves his record to 17-1-1. Now, you heard Gil and Tim talk all evening long about the effectiveness of the punches thrown. No doubt about it that Gonzalez was a very active fighter early on, but Zack Padilla said that he was intent on just getting past the 4th round against Gonzalez, and he felt that he would be able to execute his game plan well at that point. No question about it. As you take a look at the punch stat, Gonzalez, the busier fighter, but look at who was a lot more accurate, Padilla, especially from the 3rd round on when he started connecting. Gil Clancy talked about that right-hand uppercut, leaving Gonzalez open for the left cross. That, in fact, worked quite well. And standing by ringside now with both of the fighters, let's go back downstairs to Tim Ryan.
Thank you, James. I'm with the winner, Zack Padilla, and also the ex-champion standing next to me. It was a very entertaining fight. Zack, did it go the way you expected, or any surprises?
No, it went exactly the way I wanted it to. I didn't want to slug with him because I knew he was a knockout herder. But after I fought Roger Mayweather, I broke my left hand. I got a hairline fracture in my left hand, and today was the first day that I used it in this fight.
Well, you used both hands very effectively.
Yeah, yes, I did. And matter of fact, I think I re-broke it again. I know I did.
You don't seem too excited by this, as though you're not so surprised.
I'm excited, yeah. You know, I was...
Just that your hands hurt.
Yeah, that's what... my hands hurt.
All right, Zach, congratulations to you. Let's get the champion in here. He was unbeaten in 36 fights. He's only 20 years of age. Tony Rivera, we'd asked to interpret for him. Could you ask if he had any idea that the fight would go this way? Was he surprised he had such a difficult time?
Que si te sorprendiste que la pelea llegó al límite y que por qué tuviste tanta dificultad.
En realidad no sabes, lo más simple es que él es muy bueno y aguantó todo lo que yo pude dar, entonces siento que merece el campeonato.
Well, I didn't think he was this good. He is a good fighter. I gave it all I had, and he deserves to be champion.
You know that he'll be back at age 20.
You know he's not going anywhere. He just had a bad night. You know, they all come back. The great ones come back. He's coming back.
Good show. Very entertaining fight. We look forward to seeing you again. Carlos Gonzalez losing his crown to Zack Padilla from Azusa, California, the new WBO junior welterweight champion. And now let's go back up to James.
Had to have arthroscopic surgery on the knee, and here is the champion, Zack Padilla. Zack going for the French twist tonight.
Anything for style points. And that face you see right there is what he had on this morning. Very focused, as you said, a veteran. Knows exactly what he's got to do.
Very talented fighter, and a fighter who, and we mentioned this earlier, seems to fight up to the caliber of his competition and never down to. As we take a look at the AutoZone keys to victory, Dave.
And Padilla wants to go with the punch volume tonight. He also wants to win through attrition, especially with his right hand. Punches and bunches, that's his theme. For Oliveira, move on angles, try to frustrate Padilla, get him out of his game plan, and the counter shots, try to make Padilla pay for every mistake.
Really is an interesting matchup as we take a look, Dave, at the WBO rules.
And the 3 knockdown rule is in effect, but no standing 8 count here. That's very interesting because that usually counts as a knockdown. The referee can stop the fight. 3 judges score. The 10-point must scoring system in effect. The fighter can be saved by the bell in the last round only. And the accidental butt rule, you go to the cards after 3 rounds. Before that, it's an accidental draw.
What's left then is to get on with it. Let's do that with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN in association with the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Present World Championship Boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the Athletic Division of the Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection. Commissioner Gloria Schaefer. Executive Secretary John Burns in association with Foxwood, Mashantucket, Pequot Nation Combined Boxing Commission, Bobby Young, Commissioner. This bout is also sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, supervisor and attendant at ringside, Mr. Ed Levine. The scoring will be done by 3 judges, Dr. Ruben Garcia, Dr. Ismael Huizo Fernandez, and Dr. Nelson Vasquez. Our physicians in attendance, Dr. James O'Brien, Dr. Michael Schwartz, and Dr. Joseph Carpentieri. Timekeeper Lou Dell, counting for the knockdowns, Clifford Sebastian. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Foxwoods Resort Casino here in Southeast Connecticut, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee, working for the 40th time in a world title bout, Steve Smoger. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the turquoise trunks with purple trim. Weighs in at 138 pounds. From Fall River, Massachusetts, he brings a professional record of 20 victories with 9 KOs. Only 3 losses in his career. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challenger, Sucre Ray Oliveira. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with light blue trim, weighing 138.5 pounds, from Azusa, California. His professional record, 18 victories, only 1 defeat, with 1 draw, 11 KOs to his credit, presenting the WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Zack Attack Padilla.
gentlemen, you were given your instructions at the weigh-in. Obey my commands at all times.